Okay, so we'll continue with the question from last week. It's question 7. Ratipol, can you read question 7 for me? Ratipol, can you hear me? Can you read question 7?
Yes. Okay, question 7. Month of December of a certain calendar year has exactly 5 Saturdays and 4 Sundays. Of which day of the week does the first day of December fall?
Okay, so for question 7, they tell us that the month of December, so what we're looking at is the month that has 31 days, okay? December of every year is going to always have 31 days. So December of a certain calendar year, so the month December on a random year, but then for this exact month, it has 5 Saturdays and 4 Sundays only. So the question is, on which day of the week does the first day of December fall on? Meaning, you have to figure out, in this exact month of December, which day of the week does the first day of December fall on? As in, is the first day of December on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or E, which is none of the above. You can draw out the table of the month and work this out. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to solve this till 6:34. And you can answer it in the poll. I'm launching it right now.
Can you talk to me? Mama gave me conversation with you, I guess. Chẳng mấy cả mạng nữa.
Okay, it's time now. Let's check our answer. Most of you guys have already answered. Okay, so what do we know about this problem? We know that it is the month of December, which has 31 days, right? And in these 31 days, we have 5 Saturdays and 4 Sundays. So you know that first it's going to be Saturday, and after Saturday, tomorrow is going to be a Sunday. However, there's 5 Saturdays, but only 4 Sundays, meaning that the last Saturday we have in the month, the day after tomorrow, the day after that Saturday is not going to be a Sunday because there's 5 Saturday, but only 4 Sunday, right? But if they say there's 5 Saturday and 5 Sunday, then that would mean the day after the last Saturday is going to be Sunday. But because they only tell us that there's 4 Sundays and 5 Saturdays, we can conclude that that the last Saturday of the month is the last day of the month. So the last day of the month, what month is it? It's December. So that means the last Saturday, which is the 5th Saturday, is the last day of December. So that means the last Saturday is going to be what? It's 31st of December, right? So if we were to draw out a table, I have no space for this. Hold up. So let's say this is Saturday. And this is the last day. So this is 31st. Okay. This is the 5th Saturday that we're talking about. Then we have the 4th Saturday. To find the 4th Saturday, it's going to be minus 7 days. Because from last week Saturday to this week Saturday, it's an additional of 7 days. A week has 7 days. So you minus 7, that means the 4th Saturday is on the 24th. Minus 7 again is on the 17th. Wait, let me write it somewhere else. I have no space there. Oh, it's right here. So Saturday. The 5th Saturday we have is on the 31st. The 4th Saturday is on the 24th. And then you just keep on minusing 7 because a loop of 1 week has 7 days. Again and again. So here, you see, we are on to the 3rd of December. The 3rd of December is our first Saturday. The 10th is our second Saturday. Our 3rd Saturday, 4th Saturday, and 5th Saturday. But that's not our question. The question is, which day of the week does the first day of December fall on? So, the first day of December is going to be on the 1st, right? But we know that the 3rd is on a Saturday. So the 2nd is going to be on the Friday. So what is the 1st? The 1st of December is going to be on a Thursday. So the answer is option D. Ooh, that is our final answer. Does everyone understand? You guys have any questions? The trick for this problem is analyzing this 5 Saturdays and 4 Sundays. If there's one less Sunday than Saturday, then that means most likely the last day of the month will be the Saturday because there's no other Sunday after the 5th Saturday. So it's going to be the last day of the month. Everyone understand? You have any questions? You can ask me in the chat or just unmute and speak. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question 8. I'll read this for you. It's quite short. So it says, what is the missing number in the following pattern? Looking here, you see they have different shapes with different numbers in the shape, and then it gives a result of different numbers. like this. It's a rectangle with 4 sides. The number inside it is 1, but the result you get is 9. The same following shape happens. So the question here is, what is the number? What is going to be the result of this shape with the number 1 inside it? You have to identify the pattern based on these 3 shapes they give you, and you'll be able to solve the last one. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to solve this until 6:44. Oh, I'm relaunching the poll so you can redo it again. Okay, guys, it's time. I'm going to check the answer now. So because this is a question that involves like a shape, right? You see from one pattern to another, the shape changes. So it must mean the result is being derived from the sides of the shape. So let's check what I mean by that. Okay, looking at the first result. What shape is this? It's a rectangle, right? How many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sides. And number 1 is inside it. So with the number 4 and 1, what can we do to get number 9? Well, we know that number 9 could be written as 3 squared, right? So 4 and 1, we could just take 4 minus 1, which is going to be 3, and we square it. So 4 minus 1, we solve in the parentheses first. So 3 squared is going to be the same as 3 multiplied by 3 2 times. How do we know it's 3 multiplied 3 2 times? It's because the exponent or the power, the number on top of a number like this would mean that you have to multiply the number by itself however many times is the power, okay? So in this case, 3 multiplied by 3 2 times because the exponent says 2. So 3 times 3 is going to give 9. And that's how you get this. And if you want to know if this pattern is correct or not, you do the same and you check for the rest of the numbers. Let's say we check for the third one. How many sides does the third one have? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sides, right? So I can just take 8 and I minus the number inside, which is 6, and I square it. Why? Because 4 could be written as 2 squared. And if you look, 8 minus 6 would be 2, and the square on the power stays there. Again, this means 2 multiplied with 2 2 times because the exponent is 2. So that will give us 4, which is the same. So that means our answer for the question is going to use the same pattern. You just count how many sides there is, okay? So in this case, for number, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5, right? 5 sides. And the number inside is a 1. So you just minus 1 and then you square it. Now 5 minus 1 is going to be 4. And you put the square on the top. So 4 will multiply 4 2 times is going to give 16. That means our final answer is option C. The answer should be 16. Does everyone understand? Do you have any questions? Okay, we'll move on to number 9 now. So number 9 says, how many numbers are there in the list below? So 6 1/3, 7 7 2/3. These are mixed fractions, okay? You have to count from here to here, no, to 31, sorry. If it follows the same pattern, like from 6 1/3 to 7, how much does it add or minus? I'll give you a hint, it plus 2 over 3. Then you check from 7 to 7 and 2 over 3. Does it also add consistent amount? It does, right? It adds 2 over 3 as well. So you count. If 6 1/3 plus 2 over 3 all the way until it equals to 31, then how many numbers are there in the whole pattern or the whole list? Like there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and dot 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 here tells us that this keeps on adding 2 over 3 and it takes the result and add 2 over 3 all the way until it becomes 30 and 1 over 3. So the dot 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 does not represent nothing, okay? It represents the pattern that is too long and they're lazy to write. So they just shortcut it with dot dot dot. Okay, let's do this for 3 minutes, so 6:52, and then you guys can answer in the poll. Okay, guys, it's time. Let's check our answer now. So, earlier I told you a hint that from 6, 1/3 to 7, it keeps on consistently adding 2/3, 2/3 and stuff, right? But it will be even more simple if you change all of these numbers to a fraction, an improper fraction, okay? Why? Because when you look at the numbers in the pattern, you see that the denominator is all the same. It's all over 3. So if you change it into a mixed number, to an improper fraction, then it will be easier for you to count how many fraction there is. Here's what I mean. Okay, first let's transform all of it into improper fraction. So 6 1/3 to transfer into an improper fraction, you simply take the whole number, you multiply it with the denominator, and you add it with the numerator. So, for example, 6 1/3, no need to put arrow. 6 times 3 will be 18. 18 plus 1 will be 19. So this is going to be 19/3. Okay? How about 7? So if you want 7 to have a denominator of 3, you just simply multiply the numerator with 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21/3. Now, if you don't believe me, you can just take 21 divided with 3 on a calculator. It will still give you 7. So this and this means the same thing. I'm just writing into an improper fraction. Same for this. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 2 will be 23/3. Okay? Now I'm so lazy to write the rest. I'll put dot, dot, dot. Now for 30 and 1/3, same thing. 30 times 3 is 90 plus 1 will be 91/3. And lastly, 31, you just take it, multiply by 3, which is 93. Then you divide it with 3 so that it's equal. If you take 93 divided by 3 on a calculator, it still gives you 31. Okay, now, why is it important that we change all of it into an improper fraction? It's because we see that all the denominator is 3, right? So it doesn't matter. What matters is that from one fraction to another, the numerator keeps on adding 2. 19 plus 2 is 21. 21 plus 2 is 23. 23 plus 2 is 25. 27, 29, 31, all the way until it reaches 93. So how do you figure out how many fraction there is? Simple. First, you just take 93, okay? Then you minus it with 19. Why? Because 93 is the ending number, 19 is the starting number. And you divide it with the amount of change from one fraction to another. So from 19 to 21, plus 2. 21 to 23, plus 2 again. 23 is going to plus 2 all the way until the end. And if you look, 91 plus 2 is 93. So it has a constant, meaning the change from one fraction to another is always the same. It's always plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and so on. So you divide it with 2. And don't forget to add 1 at the end. Okay? Okay, so you say 93, you minus 19. 93 minus 19, you should get 74. And then 74/2 plus 1. So 74 divided 2 will give you 37. 37 plus 1 will give you 38. That means from 19/3 until 93/3, there are 38 fractions. So our final option will be option C as our answer. Does everyone understand? Guys, can I ask you to stop annotating on the screen? Everyone, please delete whatever you just wrote. Okay, seems like no one have any questions. Let's go to our next one. Question 10. Libra King, can you read it for me?
The 5-digit number 2548 is a multiple of 9. What digit does M represent?
Okay, this question is simple. You know that they give you a 5-digit number, 25,000 M. M stands for the hundreds digit, okay? 48. You know that this whole 5-digit number is a multiple of 9. So you have to find out what does M represent. I'll give you a hint. This has something to do with the multiple of 9, meaning that to find if a number is a multiple of 9 or if it's divisible by 9, you must make sure that the sum of all its digits is divisible by 9. Here's what I mean. Let's say, for example, I'll give you the number 358. I want to know if 358 is divisible by 9 or not. What do? Simple. I just take 3, I add it with 5, I add it with 8. 3 plus 5 plus 8 will be 16. Where do I get 3 and 5 and 8 from? I get it from its digits. Take the hundreds digit, add it with the tens, add it with the ones. I get 16. Now, is 16 divisible by 9? When I divide it with 9, will it give me a remainder? Yes, it does give me a remainder. Because it gives me a remainder, 16 is not divisible by 9. That means 358 is also not divisible by 9. So you do the same for this question. You take 2 plus 5 plus m plus 4 plus 8. And you find out what will m be so that you can make this whole number divisible by 9. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute because it's easy. Until 701. And you can answer in the poll again. Okay, guys, let's check now. Most of you already answered. Okay, let's take all the digits of the 5-digit number and add it together, okay? So I'll take 2, I add it with 5, add with m, add with 4, and add it with 8. So 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 8 is 19. 19 plus m. Now, we have to make sure that the number m is, when it adds to 19, the result we get is going to be divisible by 9. So what is the divisible, what are the multiples of 9? Multiple of 9. The multiples of 9 is 9, 18, 27. See? 19 must add something to equals to 27, right? So that means 19 plus m must equal to 27 because 27 is divisible by 9. So what must m be? M must be 8. How do we know? Plus 27 minus 19 is 8. So our answer is m should be 8, which is option B. Everyone understand? Okay, let's move on to number 11. Swanurat, can you read this question for me?
In the figure below, A, B, C, D, and P, Q, R, S are rectangle. AD equal to PS equal to 6 centimeter and AC equal to PQ equal to 10 centimeter. Compare the area of the shaded region of the rectangle ABC and PQRS. Which of the following statement below is true?
Okay, so in the figure below, we have rectangle A, B, C, D, and we have another rectangle which is P, Q, R, S. And we know that AD is equal to PS. So AD is 6 centimeter, PS is also 6 centimeter. And AB here is equal to PQ. They are both equal to 10 centimeters. Now compare the area of the shaded region of rectangle ABCD and PQRS. Which of the following statement below is true? So you look at ABCD. Where is the shaded area? These are the shaded area, okay? And you do the same by looking at the shaded area of PQRS. Here is the shaded area. Now, after you know the shaded area of both rectangles, you have to compare them to see if are they equal, which one is greater, which one is less, and you choose one of the following answer choices as your option, okay? I'll give you 3 minutes till 7:06 and answer in the poll. Okay, let's check our answer now. Okay, guys, this is actually like the drawing is being flipped to trick your thinking. Okay, if you know that they tell you that ADCB has this dimension. Look, AD is 6, PS is 6, AB is 10, and PQ is 10, right? That means that they both are identical rectangles. because they have the same base, which is a 10, and they have the same height, which is 6. So that means that we also know that for the shaded region of both, their base and height is also the same. So we can conclude that in each of the rectangle, both ABCD and rectangle PQRS, the area of the shaded region and the area of the unshaded region is the same and equal. So whatever is shaded here in this rectangle only is equals to whatever is unshaded in this rectangle. The same for this rectangle. Whatever is shaded in this rectangle is equal to whatever is not shaded in this rectangle. That means whatever is shaded here is equals to whatever is shaded here. And whatever is unshaded here is equals to whatever is unshaded here. So you scan through the answer options. Option A says the area of the shaded region of ABCD is equal to the area of the shaded region of PQRS. That means it is true because they both are equal. They are identical rectangles, and their shaded region is also the same. So we go with option A as our final answer. Does everyone understand? Okay, here. For example, let's say look at this triangle, right? It's the same as this, see?
Oh.
Then look at like this triangle. It's the same as this. And if you do the same for the rest, you're going to find identical triangles as well after you add and stuff. Yeah. Like, for example, another one, you can see this small shaded region adding with this other shaded region, it's equal to this unshaded region. Okay, no questions. Let's go to our next one. Question number 12. Hannah, can you read this question for me?
The time now is 16:56 and Arkansas 12-hour digital clock shows 4:56 p.m. He realized that the digits of his digital clock are in increasing consecutive order. When the time is 12:17 p.m. or a.m., the clock will show 12:17 p.m. or a.m. respectively. How many minutes later will artist clock shows digits again in increasing consecutive order?
Okay, let's check question 12. So we know that the time right now is 16:56. And our key's 12-hour digital clock shows that right now it's 4:56. There's no difference. It means the same thing. 16:56 and 4:56 is the same thing. He just has a digital clock that does not show it in the 12-hour format. So it just shows 4:56. And he realized that the digits of his digital clock are in an increasing consecutive order. The word increasing consecutive order means it is increasing, so it got bigger, like the number got bigger, but it's in a consecutive order, meaning that the number got bigger, but the number is close to each other. Here's what I mean by consecutive order. For example, let's say I have the set of pattern 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 are consecutive numbers. How do I know they're consecutive numbers? Because they are close to each other. And from 1 to 2, it increases, it got bigger. And 2 to 3, it also increases because the number got bigger. But if I were to give you another example of, let's say, 2, 4, 7, these numbers, are they increasing? Yes, they are. Because 2 to 4 increased by 2, and 4 to 7 increased by 3. But 2, 4, and 7 are not in consecutive order because they are not numbers next to each other. So looking at 456, 4 increased to 5, increased to 6. And 4, 5, 6 are numbers next to each other. So continuing on, they say that when the time, right, the time is 12:17 p.m. or a.m., the clock will show 12:17 p.m. or a.m. respectively. So how many minutes later will Archie's clock shows digit that will increase in consecutive order again? Okay, looking at here from 456 plus question mark minutes is going to give you a number, I mean a time that has increasing order. Okay, let's solve this for 3 minutes, so 7:16. And you can answer in the Okay, guys, it's time. Let's check now. Okay, so the tip in solving these half problem is you have to find what is the closest time after 456 that is in increasing consecutive order. So you might think, oh, what about 567? 567 is in an increasing order, but this is not the real time. If you convert it, the time is going to be 607. 607 is not in an increasing order. So 567 should not be what you're trying to find. So what is the closest one? It's going to be 1234. Okay? 1234 is increasing. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's also in a consecutive order. Or you might think, oh, what about 123? Yes, 123 is okay. However, you don't want to use that because you want to find the closest time to 456. So you consider 1234 instead of 123. Now you count. From 456 to 1234, how many additional minutes will it be? So if we do our math, we know that 1234. Oh, by the way, the 456 they give us is in PM, okay? And the 1234 that I'm talking about is in AM because it transferred from PM to AM at night, like 12 AM. Now we count, we know that it's going to be 7 hours and 38 minutes. So if you convert it to minutes, you take 7 multiplied by 60. So 7 times 60 and add with 38. So that will give 456 minutes. So how many more minutes after 4:56 p.m.? 458 more minutes. That means our answer is option B. Okay, does everyone understand? You guys have any questions? You can ask me right away.
Yeah. How did you get the time 12 o'clock 34 minutes?
Wait, sorry, can you repeat it again? I couldn't really hear clearly.
How could you get the time 12 o'clock 34 minutes?
Okay, how I got the time was because I tried to find what is the closest time after 4:56 that is in an increasing consecutive order. So increasing consecutive order is like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, or like 5, 6, 7 and stuff, right? So if I count after 4:56, I might think, okay, how about 5:67? But 5:67 is in the wrong format of a time. 5:67 could be written as 6:07. That means 6:07 is not in an increasing consecutive order, so 5:67 is wrong. How about 6:78? 6:78 is also wrong because 78 minutes, if you convert it, it's going to be like 7:18, right? So 7:18 is also not in its increasing consecutive order. So you keep doing it until you get to 12:34 a.m. 12:34 a.m. is the closest time that is in an increasing consecutive order that is after 4:56. So we take 12:34 a.m. as our goal of the next time that we want to find. Then we just minus and we find out that we need 458 more minutes after 4:56 to reach 12:34. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you guys have any more questions?
No.
Okay, let's go on to our next one. Question 13. I'll read this for you. Ali has 80 candles. He lights 1 candle every day. He can recycle the wax of 4 used candles to form a new candle. So each day he only uses 1 candle. He has 80 candles, and if he finished 4 candle, then he can use the leftover 4 candle by recycling it and make it into a new candle. So you have to find out how many more days after right now will he need to buy more candles. I think this is simple. But let's do it for 2 minutes till 7:23. Okay, guys, let's check our answer now. Okay, this is simple. So right now we know that he has 80 candles and he lights one candle every day. So the 80 candles, he could use it for how many days? Candles. He could use it for 80 days. But then these 80 candles, he can recycle them, right? After he used 4 candle or 4 of them, he can form a new one. So that means you take 80, you divide it by 4. So he could form how many new candles? 20 new candles. And the 20 new candles, he's going to keep using only one per day. So he can use it for an additional of 20 more days. After he finished all the 20 candles, again, he can recycle it. You can take 20, divide 4. That means right now he got 5 new candles. These 5 new candles will help him survive for 5 more days, right? And then lastly, after he used all the 5 candles, he can lastly recycle it. But in this case, when he has 5, when you divide it with 4, you only get 1, with a remainder of 1 last used wax candle, which he will probably have to throw away because he can't recycle it. So he can only make 1 more new candle, which will last him for another day. 1 day. So that means the total amount of days will be 80 plus 20 plus 5 plus 10. So what is the total gonna be? It's going to be equals to 106. That means our answer is option E. You can use it for 106 days. Does everyone understand? So after he used it for 106 days, he will need to buy more. So after how many days? After 106 days, then he will have to buy more candles. Okay, let's go to our last question for today. For this question, can I have Meng Rotanet? Can you read this for me? Rotanet, are you there?
Among George, Helen, and Irene, only one of them watched the movie Avengers. When they were asked about the movie, they gave the following replies. George said Helen watched it. Helen said I haven't watched it. Irene said I haven't watched it. Two of them lied. Who watched the movie?
Okay, so this is similar to like a riddle. It tests your IQ to find out who's the one who's lying and who's the one who's telling the truth. You test out all cases of scenario to find out who really watched the movie. Okay, you can solve this for 1 minute till 7:28 and answer in the poll, then I'll check it.
Come on, it's 28 now. Let's go check the answer.
Okay, I'll check the answer. For this type of question, what you'll have to do is test the answer choice. So let's say if George watched the movie, what will happen? Okay, George said that Helen watched it. So is he lying? Yes, he is. He's lying, so I'll put an X. Why? Because he's the one who watched it. We are assuming that option A is our answer. So we are assuming that George is the one who watched the movie. But George said Helen watched it, so he's lying. Helen said, I have not watched the movie, which is correct because George is the one who's watching it. And this person also said the same, I have not watched it, which is telling the truth. See, one lie, two truth. The question says, if two of them lied. But this, if we say A is the correct answer, two person is telling the truth and only one is lying. That means it cannot be option A. Okay, it's not George. George did not watch the movie. We move on to B being our answer. So Helen watched the movie. If Helen watched the movie, George said Helen watched the movie, which is correct. He's telling the truth. Helen said, I have not watched it. Helen is lying. And this person said, I have not watched it, which is telling the truth because Helen watched it, not this person. So again, two truth, one lie. This does not satisfy what they told us, so it cannot be Helen who watched it. Helen B is also eliminated. We are last to C, which is Irene. So George said Helen watched it. George is lying because Helen is not the one who watched it. It's Irene. Helen said, I have not watched it, which is telling the truth. And Irene said, I have not watched it, but Irene is lying because Irene is the one watching when we are assuming that Irene is the correct answer. So this is wrong, meaning there are two lies and one truth. Because there's two lies and one truth, that means our assumption is correct. So option C is correct. Irene is the one who watched the movie. Our final answer is option C. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining today. We can end class now. Bye. I'll send the questions in the group chat. See you guys next.
Bye. So this looks so bad.
Teacher.
Bye.
Bye, guys.